Brother Skrillium. Oh, there's this Dylan Mulvaney thing with Drew Barrymore. Oh, I love Cringe TV more than anybody. And you know, I've been going on about how much I love The View. I love to watch The View just because of what it represents. It's just everything wrong with entertainment. Everything wrong with talk shows is The View. And my new favorite that's starting to slowly creep up, low key, is Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore does not know how to interact like a human being. She's incapable of being a genuine human being and having a genuine conversation. I think she's worse. Take the Madonna announcement of her fucking tour. Drew Barrymore is worse than that. She's worse than Madonna when it comes to not being genuine. But before I go to that, I saw this, and I'm not even going to spend a lot of time on this. There's this thing going around that resumes that include the they, them pronouns are more likely to be overlooked by jobs. And you know what? I could give a fuck. And I'll tell you why this isn't even discrimination, because it's not a real thing. It doesn't make sense. I think it's just confusing people. And because it's crazy. They, them is a I guess it's a pronoun that signifies plurality. A group of people. More than one. It doesn't make sense. I think people see that and go, well, I'm not trying to hire more than one person here. Why are more than one person filing an application? This doesn't make any sense. People who may not even not even pay attention to this shit see it and go, I don't know what the fuck this is. There's a psychopath that wrote this. So, yeah, I totally understand why you would just fucking throw that shit out, actually. It just doesn't make sense. That's all I can say. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's happening. But I don't blame him. Let's watch the Cringe Fest. That is Dylan Mulvaney talking to Drew Barrymore, which to me it sounds like two AIs trying to be undercover as real humans, but they're talking to each other, trying to convince each other that they're real humans. That's how I feel when I'm watching this. It's two robots trying to convince each other that they're real humans.
To meet, my role models, even you today, is like, it's the best part, not gonna lie. Let me ask you.
Sorry, let me go back real quick. Look at the size difference between these two. An actual woman, Drew Barrymore, which, by the way, the woman is wearing the suit and the dude is wearing the dress. It's 2023, people. Look at the size difference between these two. Just the natural build of Dylan Mulvaney. Look at the shoulders. Look at the linebacker shoulders here. And just the size of the structural. What the fuck happened? Even look at that picture. Jesus. The structural size difference. Just refresh for some reason. But yeah, I mean, it's like no matter what, you're always gonna have the shape of a man. It is what it is. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. That's insane.
To meet, my role models, even you today, is like, it's the best part, not gonna lie.
Let me ask you about the negativity. How have you dealt with it? And what's an approach you take? What's your self-talk? What do you filter?
Yes.
How do you...
I still read the comments, but there is so much hatred directed at the trans community right now. It's everywhere. And I think the greatest weapon that I can contribute is trans joy and comedy and talking about hard, subjects and really intricate moments of a transition, and try to let everybody in to see that, I'm not a monster. I'm not somebody that, is trying to do anything but be myself and be happy. Love ya.
Thank you, everybody, for that support. How do you stay?
Did you hear that? Just the fakeness of that? Thank you, everybody, for that support. Why does she look like she's gonna cry when she says that? And trans joy? It's. Do you notice that that he didn't want to say the thing that he's being and the trans community is actually being accused of, because what they're doing is that they're trying to sexualize children. So when he does that thing where he goes, I'm just trying to show people that I'm not a monster, and I'm not what these people are saying that I am. Like, what? Well, why don't you say it? Why don't you actually say the words? Say what if it's that ridiculous, say what we're saying that you are and your people. Because when you actually say it out loud that you are trying to fucking indoctrinate children, and you are sexualizing children, and you are putting on sexual shows for children, which is actually illegal, and these people should be fucking arrested for it. Yeah, it's they don't want to actually say what it is. They can't face it. And it's like, you're watching also two people, Drew Barrymore for her own reasons and Dylan Mulvaney for his own reasons. Two people who have been crippled by mental illness. And they're just infantilized. It's like two children talking to each other. Two people who never... Two grown adults who never became adults, who were never raised. And you see the two opposite ends of the spectrum. Not really in terms of like sexuality, because Drew is, supposedly a straight woman, right? But yeah, her own reason. She's been totally fucked by Hollywood. Totally screwed up her head. And I think she had a drug problem, right? And Dylan Mulvaney, who's just who thinks he's a different sex than he was born. Gender dysphoria. Two mentally ill people who have the power and the platform to speak to millions of people. It's insane. And all they're doing is complaining about how they deal with fucking hatred. How they deal with their day-to-day. Who gives a fuck? Who cares?
Subjects and really intricate moments of a transition, and try to let everybody in to see that, I'm not a monster. I'm not somebody that, is trying to do anything but be myself and be happy. Love ya.
Thank you, everybody, for that support. How do you stay on your own path? Where do you draw boundaries? Where do you find the strength to keep being the joy?
Well, I think having my chosen family.
Oh my God. Did you? I'm disturbed by that. She's acting right now. She's acting like every time she says a word, like if it's an emotion word, she acts out the emotion. She's like, where did you find the strength to be the joy? Oh, I'm cringing. I'm embarrassed for her.
own path, where do you draw boundaries? Where do you find the strength to keep being the joy?
Well, I think having my chosen
she's a
family.
Psychopath. And again, just narcissism. All these people do is talk about themselves. Trans people are the biggest narcissists on the planet. Don't you get tired of talking about yourself all day? God damn. But then I gotta get to this part. I know it seems long-winded here, but there's a part. If you haven't seen this, you're in for a treat. The thing that Drew Barrymore does here.
Family and the people that
By the way, where do you draw the boundaries? What boundaries? As if she has any fucking couth. This fucking goofball. What's his name call her? Matt Walsh. This human deepfake. Perfect goddamn. Both of them are human deepfakes, but this actual human deepfake. Where are the boundaries? Where do you draw the boundaries? You don't have any. I'm sorry. You don't have any boundaries. When you're in favor of sexualizing and transitioning children, you don't have any boundaries. You don't get to make the argument as if you have you can fucking rationalize in any way. You've lost the credibility. Why even ask that question? The only way you can ask that question to Dylan Mulvaney is if it's completely sarcastic. Maybe Maybe that was the whole to be the joy. I kind of want to see that again. She went from one to another, right? From the thank you so much for that support. Ooh.
Where do you find the strength to keep being the joy?
Well, I think having my chosen family and the people that I love to take care of me.
Chosen family because the family fucking disowned her. Is that what happened?
I also think there's something just about making sure that you don't put something out there before you're ready, and really just surrounding yourself with good people. It's interesting because I look at someone like you, and I can't imagine anybody disliking you.
Oh, please. Do you want to know, ironically, who dislikes me the most sometimes?
Who?
Myself.
Oh, me too. Oh. But I guess, you've asked me now, what I would do to
Oh my God, he's like a monster compared to fucking on the knees, even. Which I'm sure as a trans, you don't want to look like a monster on your knees. That defeats the whole purpose, doesn't it? But it's like, look at again the size difference. That's not a woman. Obviously. There's a difference between that and big women, even. There's a difference. Absolutely. So don't even try to make the argument of anybody out there, oh, there are bigger women. There's a difference between her and even an Amazon woman. An Amazon woman still looks like a fucking woman.
combat the hate, right?
Yeah.
But what do you do?
Okay, that's a great question. Now,
You've been doing it a little longer than I have.
Well, it's funny because when I was a kid...
Look at how they're acting like children. These are children. These are not grown adults. They're children that were given a lot of fucking money. And they never grew up. They're given a lot of money and a platform. And this is what they do with it. They're about to do the fucking, the game where they do the patty cake.
You starting with E.T. It was the first time I was introduced to film reviews, which are basically social media.
Yes.
But I felt like all these reviews, and it could be a Charlie's Angels, it could be an E.T., it could be The Wedding Singer, everything in between. If you read reviews, just like on social media, you are pretty much guaranteed a 50-50 Some like it, some don't. So you've got to be willing to bear down and brace for it. And I think
picking your battles too.
Yes.
And sometimes I think the greatest response can just be in the next joyous video or in the next win that you have, because that just goes to show that like you are continuing on, and whatever that those people are projecting onto you, it isn't actually penetrating.
I couldn't agree more, because another thing that you're making me realize is to not carry on in spite of others.
I'm sorry, I just realized that I'm sitting on the floor with Drew.
I'm so happy to be doing this. Thank you for joining me on the floor. The floor always feels safer.
It feels nice.
All right, we have to go to a quick commercial.
Japanese. These people are incapable of being genuine. I can't imagine having a conversation with a person and agreeing with every single thing they say. I would feel dirty. I would feel like I sold my soul to the fucking devil. And again, the entire conversation is all about them. How do you deal with hate? How do you deal with knowing that not every single person in the world loves you? How do you deal with that? Oh my God, it's so hard. It's so hard that you're not completely loved and accepted by every single person in the whole world. I have so much sympathy for both of these women. I'm gonna give it to them, because my sympathy runs so deep. Fucking just, oh my God, just do something about it. That's all I'll say. You don't like your life, do something about it. I don't give a fuck where you take that anymore. Whether that's fucking starting a corporation and making millions of dollars because you're tired of your life, and that's where you go with it, or you jump off of a bridge. I could give a fuck. Just do something about it. That's where I'm at. You can't accept that everybody doesn't love you. I don't care anymore. I don't care. It's not a fucking social problem. That's your shit. Dylan Mulvaney has some deep-seated issues with his family and with himself. And that's why even after getting fucking facial reconstruction surgery, he still can't feel like a woman. And he still can't be happy. I just don't care. I don't care. Like this. And Drew Barrymore doesn't care either. Let's be honest. That's why she has to act right now. If she really cared, she wouldn't have to pretend to be genuine. She gets on her knees, she does the hand hold, and oh my God. And then also, where Drew Barrymore doesn't, I don't know if she doesn't realize, she's too stupid to realize, or she's just that ingrained into the fucking agenda that Dylan Mulvaney and the trans community is really creating a lot of problems for women. That's not causing problems for men. The women bathrooms, the women's sports. What else is there? Really, the only problem it's causing with men is the thing of where men are claiming they're getting tricked by trans people. And look, maybe there are some that are that convincing. I'm pretty sure I've seen some. But I do think a lot of these guys are really just fucking these trannies and getting caught. And then they're claiming they got tricked. But I'm sure there are some that have gotten tricked. But I don't understand how, you ever seen the Jerry Springer things where they're like, yeah, we have sex all the time. And then the person goes, actually, I'm really a man. I've just been hiding my penis. It's like, how the fuck do you fuck somebody and not realize they have a penis? It's impossible. It's impossible. especially doing it multiple times. You're lying. But I get, like, if you go out on a date and you thought it was a woman and then you find out, oh shit, wait, you're a dude? That's different. You're not getting tricked, though, in fucking multiple times and not realizing it's a dude. Anyway, my point being is that Drew Barrymore needs to understand that this is affecting women way more on dangerous levels. So yeah, I mean, again, just that deep into the fucking agenda. Or it's, Drew Barrymore is so fucking rich that she doesn't have to deal with, regular, like a public bathroom. I think Drew Barrymore is going into a public bathroom. Please. She's not into sports. That's not affecting her. She's incapable of putting herself in other people's shoes. Incapable of it. So that's why it's easy for her to go with the agenda. And also, she's just a stupid Hollywood liberal actor that grew up in it. Grew up in it. And actually, that whole thing ruined her life. So why the fuck wouldn't she fucking, find Jesus or something? Holy Christ. This is what happens when you're people who aren't anchored to anything. Anchored to any kind of I don't know. I don't want to just use the word principle. But you're not anchored to any piece of reality. Your life is a fucking illusion.